Yo, what's good? Top of the Top, episode 216, Stash House Podcast. Your boy Tyler checking in. First time listeners, thank y'all for tuning in. If you tune in weekly, salute. And just an episode, saw some topics you may want to hear about, salute to you as well. Like, share, subscribe, retweet, whatever you do to help support the podcast. Greatly appreciate it. Podcast available on all streaming platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Subscribe, leave comments, put your people on. All greatly appreciated. A lot to get to this week in music and sports. Loaded episode for y'all, so let's get right on into it. First, let's start with new music. We have a new Young Thug album, Business is Business, a week after Gunna Project. So definitely a lot to get to with this. 15 tracks, executive produced by Metro Boomin. Feature list, we got Drake, Future, 21 Savage, Travis Scott, Lil Uzi, B Slime, Lil Gotti, and Nate Roos. So, once again, Young Thug, Business is Business, a week after Gunna Project. So, for me, off rip, the music aspect of this project takes a back seat. Now, if they would have came out and said, hey, everyone, for the past however many months, Jeffrey, a.k.a. Young Thug, has access to a studio and a microphone while locked up. He's been recording, and he feels now is the perfect time to get his thoughts out. Then I would have been like, oh, whoa, didn't expect that. Very excited for that. That's not the case. The first announcement I saw was Metro Boomin saying he executive produced this project. And I'm like, didn't Metro just say after the Spider-Man soundtrack, the next time he pop out will be with Future? This is music politics at its finest. Of course, Gunna and Thug are YSL. YSL is signed to 300 Entertainment. And one day, maybe it's already on YouTube, but we got to do a quick doc on 300 just in their short period of time in the music business. Just listen to this lineup and think about the stories with these artists. Of course, Young Thug and Gunna, Meg Thee Stallion, Fetty Wap, and Migos have stated in numerous interviews the day they got out of their contract with 300, they dropped Bad and Bougie. 300 was holding them to where they couldn't even drop Bad and Bougie. So imagine a world if Migos didn't drop Bad and Bougie. 300, they tried it. So 300 Entertainment alone, not saying it's shiesty, but it's the music business. I mean, that just numerous interviews I've seen, people with no matter if it's 300 Entertainment, this record label, that record label, it's just the music business. I'm not in it, so it is what it is. I guess that's just how they operate. But seeing them dropping this Young Thug project after Gunna, clearly they see I see it as more of a way for them to capitalize off of it than try to shame out Gunna release, because they seeing Gunna's numbers. And I'm not a number guy. I just listen to the music, and I just take away my opinion from the music. I don't care if it's the number one artist in the world, number 30th, number 50th, number 2 million. You know what I'm saying? I just listen to the music. But as a record label, they're looking at the sales. They're saying, Gunna did this. They might have didn't expect that. And plus, like I said, musically, the reception of it was good. So they probably saying, let's take some old Thug verses. Let's throw the usual suspects in terms of features on it, and it's going to do what it does. No matter if it's current content, pre-recorded, some mumbo jumbo we just found in the library and decided to put this feature on it, whatever. They taking advantage of it. That's why I said they would have came out and said, yo, bruh been recording while locked up some way, somehow. Then I would have been like, oh, interesting. But just off the Metro Boomin announcing that he was executive producer, the feature list is what did it for me. Being that Gunna had no features and this Thug project has most of the features that they both collaborate with before all this transpired, I just saw it as 300 Entertainment taking advantage of the situation, getting something out of Thug and Gunna. I just said last week, we can tell their energy been missed in the music game since they've been locked down. So that's two artists that they were guaranteed to probably have another album or two dropping in the past year and a half. We got to make up some type of way. So I can see 300 Entertainment doing that. Me personally, in terms of the music on this project, I only got halfway through it. I'm sure it's something on there that'll, be cool to drop on a playlist or something. But, I mean, I guess with Thug, like I said with Gunna last week, we want to hear something current. And that's what Gunna did, but this Thug project, it's cool to hear Thug on a track. It's been a minute since we heard some new Thug, but for me to hear new Thug, I would like to just hear his current thoughts. I don't want to hear things that were recorded in 2019, 2021. Nah. So, once again, Young Thug, business is business. Me personally, I saw this more as a record label move than a Young Thug move. And, yeah, I'm sure there's something on there for me to check out, but 300 Entertainment, those artists I named that they've had on their roster, and that was just the quick 5. I'm not even talking about the SoundCloud guys who signed there and all that. So, very, very intriguing over there at 300 Entertainment, but it is what it is. It is what it is. And also in new music, Dom Kennedy and T-Fly dropped a project called I Love Stalker, 10 records. I saw it on my new music list. I rock with Dom Kennedy, so I was like, let me check it out. And a very, very solid project. Definitely, if you in tune with Dom Kennedy music, definitely a West Coast summertime feel. The Yellow album from him, still one of my favorite projects ever. It's called the Yellow album, but I believe it was a mixtape because it's not on streaming service. You got to go YouTube, live mixtapes, Dat Piff, or something like that. But the Yellow album, that's all you need to hear for you to get in tune with Dom Kennedy. Very, very solid project. Him and T-Fly, definitely something y'all should check out. Also, we have some announcements also over the weekend. Currency and Harry Fraud, one of my favorite artist-producer duos, announced Vices June 30th. I'm guessing this is a project because I learned this year especially, just because they announce something weeks ahead of time doesn't mean it's a project. It could be just a song, but hopefully it's a project. The artwork is still on their marina vibes, their cigarette boat vibes, their regatta vibes, Outrunners vibes. So the artwork is still on that South Beach, Scarface, Miami Vice type of vibe. So I hope it's a project. I would definitely enjoy a new Currency Harry Fraud project. And it would have came out of nowhere. I didn't expect a Currency Harry Fraud project this year, but I'm not complaining. Also, August 25th, Victoria Monet announced her project, Jaguar 2, is dropping. I thought months ago she was dropping a project. That's why I was just saying, just because they promote it ahead of time doesn't mean it was a project. She was promoting a song for about a month and a half. I'm thinking it's a project. It was just a song featuring Lucky Day. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad we got a song with Victoria Monet and Lucky Day, but you don't got to promote it as if it's an album. But this Jaguar 2 is definitely an album, August 25th. I'm very, very excited about it. So in terms of new music, we got Young Thug, Business is Business, music politics at its finest, in my opinion. But if you haven't, check it out. Dom Kennedy and T-Fly, I Love Stalker, 10 records, very, very quick, summertime, West Coast vibe. So if you haven't, check that out, Dom Kennedy, Yellow album. If you want to listen to that first, then go listen to the new project. I won't be mad at you because if I listen to Dom Kennedy 9 times out of 10, it's the Yellow album for me personally. But we got that. Currency Harry Fraud announced Vices for June 30th. Victoria Monet announced Jaguar 2 for August 25th. And also in music, for my hip-hop heads, Jim Jones and Pusha T have been going back and forth. Now, personally, I'm intrigued by it. Not saying it's got to go to physical or nothing like that. I just want to hear the music. If we just get music of them going back and forth, cool. Definitely two people who've been in the game for a long time. So just keep it music. It's all. Keep it music. Pusha T did some fly shit. He debuted the song at Pharrell's Louis Vuitton fashion show. That's fly. Louis Vuitton, Pharrell, him and Pharrell go way back. Of course, with the clips and everything. His brother was out there, Malice. I think they're working on the Clips project with Pharrell, if I'm not mistaken. A Clips project with Pharrell. I believe that's what the song is coming from. Because I just heard the Pusha T little jabs to Jim Jones. Then I finally heard most of the track. Pusha T got a verse. Malice got a verse. Pharrell is on it. If you're telling me this year we might get a Clips Pharrell album, I'm down with that as well. But Pusha T did that, and then Jim Jones came back with a video going back at Pusha T. I'm enjoying it. Like I said, we know Jim Jones like to take things outside of music, and we know Pusha T like to take shots below the waistline. So I'm curious to see how it play out. Hopefully it just stay with music. But as a person who looking for some type of excitement in the game, Pusha T, Jim Jones, I definitely got my eye on that as well. So that's what I got in new music. If I missed anything, let me know. I'll check up on it. If y'all going on these tours, these festivals, y'all be safe. A lot going on in the music world. I'm going to try my best to stay in tune with it. Now in the world of sports, last Thursday we had the NBA draft. I'm going to give y'all the top 10 picks. It's always great to see these young guys making that huge career leap, huge milestone, making their families happy, making themselves happy. Just seeing the emotion and the joy on those family faces is always great to see. In the NBA draft, NFL draft, anytime you see the excitement when they get the phone call or hear their name called, go on stage, shake the hand of the commissioner, it's always great. I love to see it. I love it. But the top 10 picks, first, number 1, Spurs. They picked Victor Wembanyama. His trajectory is very, very high. He's about 7'1", 7'2", something like that. Slim body, can move like KD, can shoot. Very, very Yao Mingish in terms of his size and his length, I'll say. Not really, but more the length. Yao Ming. I remember when I was younger seeing Yao Ming get drafted and seeing him on the court, it was like, whoa. And then seeing him on NBA Live and everything, like, that's the vibe Victor Wembanyama gives me. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he plays out in the league. And like I said, with Pop, he probably gave Pop another 5 years of coaching. Pop, if he doesn't see it in him automatically, Pop will let him sit on the bench, I believe, if he's not ready. So very curious to see how Victor Wembanyama play out. Number 2, Brandon Miller, the Hornets drafted Brandon Miller from Alabama. Number 3, the Blazers drafted Scoot Henderson. We'll see how that goes with Dame Lillard still. It's been a lot of Dame Lillard to Miami talk, and I'm going to get to this in a minute. We had a lot of trades as well over the offseason. I think Dame is probably number 1 right now for probably making the next move, if he makes the next move. So Scoot Henderson going to the Blazers. We'll see how it plays out. The Rockets, number 4, drafted Amen Thompson. And the Nets pick, the Detroit Pistons, drafted his twin brother, Azar Thompson. Azar Thompson. The Pistons drafted him. So seeing 2 twin brothers get drafted, that was dope to see. The Magic drafted Anthony Black. The Pacers drafted Bilal Coulibaly, but he was traded to the Wizards. And the Wizards drafted Jarace Walker. I should have YouTube some of these guys' names. Jarace Walker. So those 2 trades, those 2 picks were traded with the Pacers and the Wizards. The Jazz drafted Taylor Hendricks. The Mavericks drafted Cason Wallace. He was traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder. And just for, Lakers purpose, the Lakers drafted Jalen Hood Shafino. So, like I said, those are the top 10 picks. I think Victor Wembanyama, Brandon Miller, Scoot Henderson going top 3. I think those 3 guys have a huge trajectory. I'm looking forward to see what the Twins do as well. But mainly in the offseason, still, that's on people's radar, I'll say, is if Dame Lillard is staying in Portland or possibly going to Miami. We'll see how that play out. Now let's get to some of these trades so far in the NBA offseason. Before the draft, some things were shaking up. We had Bradley Beal get traded to the Phoenix Suns, along with Isaiah Todd and Jordan Goodwin. But at the time, the Wizards received Chris Paul, Landry Shamet, and some draft picks. But since Chris Paul was traded to the Golden State Warriors, and I'm going to touch on that as well, but let's stick with Bradley Beal going to the Phoenix Suns. Obviously, you cannot deny Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal in your starting lineup. That's incredible. That's an incredible lineup. You add Aiden, who can get things going through the regular season. In the playoffs, he's a little shaky. So I'm interested to see, are they still going to keep Aiden as well? Of course, they was getting rid of Chris Paul. So I think they still need to find somebody to run that point position with those 3 guys in the lineup, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal. Aiden should easily average a double-double if he stays in Phoenix, in my opinion. like I said, just in the playoffs, man, you got to show up. I thought that was going to be the case this year. Obviously, when they played against the Nuggets, we saw Jokic on his dominant run, so clearly Aiden was a non-factor, but I think they need a ball handler, of course, for their starting five, and they got to fill that bench out. I mean, I see people saying, no, you got this high-power offense, they top-heavy. Yes, they top-heavy, but we've seen when it matters. Of course, you're going to get some regular season wins, but I'm looking just – if you got this starting lineup, I'm looking, okay, the regular season, all due respect. I watched the regular season. I completely understand. But I'm looking at the big picture. In the playoffs, you need guys who come off the bench that you can rely on defensive-wise. They got Frank Vogel now as the head coach, so I'm sure he's going to get role players who probably at least top 2 asset is defense. Turn great defense into great offense. We'll see where it goes with the Phoenix Suns, but you cannot deny Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, especially those 3 guys stay healthy. Add Aiden to the mix, somebody run that point. If they can stay healthy, get some great chemistry throughout the season, yeah, Phoenix can be dangerous. They can be dangerous. With Frank Vogel as the coach, he's going to look for defensive-minded guys that can fill out that starting lineup, a guy or two come off the bench, get y'all some points as well. And like I said, turn great defense into great offense. That's what I'm looking forward to with the Phoenix Suns. So we'll see. We'll see. Aiden, you should easily average a double-double. Easily. And like I said, Golden State traded for Chris Paul. They traded him for Jordan Poole and some future draft picks. In terms of Jordan Poole leaving Golden State to clear out a 4-year, $140 million contract, they're just reshaping their payroll and their franchise at this point. I mean, you do got to take in consideration, yes, at the same time, they did just win a ring, but Steph is getting up there in age, Clay, Draymond as well, Steve Kerr been there for a while. The former president, general manager, Bob Myers, he just stepped down a couple months ago. His quote was, "It was just time to." He's largely responsible for their 4 championship rings. So I think for the first time in this Golden State era, we're seeing some type of a change in position, I'll say. A change in position. I think they were saying, Golden State were to make a move for a bigger star in the game. Klay Thompson might have been in regards to that trade. Just saying they would have tried to get like LeBron or Anthony Davis, somebody big. Klay would have been probably the first one on the trading block for that, Klay and Jordan Poole. So it's just kind of odd to see them bring in Chris Paul because it's like, you got Steph Curry already. If you go get rid of Jordan Poole, I can see them getting rid of Jordan Poole after his playoff performance. And, of course, the incident with Draymond Green. Not saying they had to pick a side because Draymond opted out his contract, and now he's a free agent, but he might just re-sign with Golden State for a better contract. Who knows? But it is some odd things going on at Golden State right now. They're reshaping the roster. Of course, I feel like they got a lot of trust now in Andrew Wiggins. Seems like he's going to be back because he took some personal time off throughout the season. It was just the one season coming off the championship. You had the Draymond Jordan Poole situation. You had Andrew Wiggins not there for a good bit of the season. Klay Thompson wasn't himself in the playoffs. Bob Myers stepped down. So it's just some things transpired with the organization. But this Chris Paul trade, I didn't see it coming, and I really don't understand it unless he's just going to orchestrate the bench, be a mentor to the younger guys they bring in. And when they sub out the starting lineup, Chris Paul is going to be the anchor for the bench players. So I guess that's what I'm just thinking with 2K mind at this point. Also, some other moves, Marcus Smart from Boston Celtics. Marcus Smart traded to the Memphis Grizzlies in a 3-way deal with Washington and Boston. And with that, Boston received Kristaps Porzingis. Haven't heard that name in a while. Kristaps Porzingis traded to Boston. In terms of Marcus Smart going to Memphis, for one, he got to change his hair color or cut his hair. We'll see how that goes. That's the first thing that really came to my mind. I'm like, oh, damn, Marcus Smart. He's really like the heart and soul of the Boston Celtics for a few years now at this point. He had his hair green and everything, and the way he plays on defense, he was – now, in terms of Memphis, Marcus Smart was just Defensive Player of the Year 2 years ago, and Jaren Jackson won Defensive Player last year. So for Memphis, they got the past 2 Defensive Players of the Year now on their team. So shout out to Memphis for that. But Boston getting Kristaps Porzingis in return, I'm like, because a lot of people thought Jaylen Brown was going to be the first one to go. If anybody from this Boston era were to leave, they thought Jaylen Brown. So with Kristaps Porzingis, being that you took away the heart and the soul of the team with Marcus Smart, very curious to see how it play out for Boston. I was surprised to see Marcus Smart. I knew somebody had to go from Boston, one of their core members, but I, like a lot of people, thought it would be Jaylen Brown, not Marcus Smart. But we'll see. Still a lot of time left. Kristaps Porzingis in Boston, I just got to see if Porzingis can stay healthy. Like I haven't heard that name in a while. When him and Luka were together in Dallas, I didn't see their trajectory being that high like some people did. But Porzingis, he's been in the league for a while. Going to Boston, we'll see. We'll see. I don't think it changes anything with Boston at this point. That's what I got in sports. We had the NBA draft. We had Bradley Beal go to Phoenix Suns. Chris Paul go to Golden State. Marcus Smart go to Memphis. Kristaps Porzingis, he's headed to Boston. And that's just what I got right now. And I think the one thing on a lot of people's mind, Dame Lillard, is he going to Miami? We shall see. Now, to finish up this episode, this weekend, we have WWE Premium Live event, Money in the Bank, live from London. So we have an early start time Saturday for this event. Looking forward to it. A lot of things I feel like can jumpstart things for SummerSlam and definitely leading down the rest of the year. A lot of things can happen because Money in the Bank is the event where a briefcase can change the whole trajectory of the company. I believe they can go for mid-card belts as well, both men and women, but the ultimate prize is the World Heavyweight Championship or the Women's Championship or even the Roman Reigns Undisputed Championship. We'll see how it goes. But I'm looking forward to this event. Some matches I'm looking forward to more than others, but I'm going to get my predictions right now. First, let's start with the men's Money in the Bank match. We have Ricochet, Nakamura, Damian Priest, LA Knight, Escobar, Butch, and Logan Paul. For my prediction, I would like to see LA Knight win this match. But overall, everyone in this match is looking for an opportunity in my position. First, you got Logan Paul, who just re-signed with the company. Of course, he's going to bring excitement. No matter what you say about him, personally or whatever, how you feel about him, when he gets in the ring, he's going to give you a couple spots. You'd be like, okay, that was dope to see. I feel like he's going to do that. I think overall, this men's Money in the Bank match will remind me of the WrestleMania 21 Money in the Bank match, the WrestleMania 22 Money in the Bank match. I feel like we're going to have a lot of great spots, a lot of great momentum spots in this match. Logan Paul, Ricochet, I think they're going to give us a couple great spots, both together and solo. I think Nakamura is going to have a great run. I think Damian Priest is going to be dominant. I think LA Knight is going to be witty. I think Butch is going to have an incredible run with the ladders and what he does with fingers and everything. Overall, I'm looking forward to this men's Money in the Bank match. First, different storylines with this match as well. It's not like they just grab a bunch of guys they got nothing to do with and put them together. They actually made stories within the match. One story I'm looking forward to, LA Knight. Like I said, I predict him to win this match, but LA Knight, he just picking up so much momentum with the fans and everything. It's like, man, you can give him, like I said, at this point, if you can go for the Seth Rollins belt or you can go for Austin Theory, just somebody that he can have great chemistry with on the microphone leading up to the match, I think that would be great to see. With Escobar, the LWO, of course, with Backlash was in Puerto Rico, they brought the LWO back, but since then, I mean, Vega, she's lost to Rhea Ripley. Escobar, this is really his shot to put a stamp on the LWO, and I do got another theory about the LWO I'm going to share with that along with Escobar when I get to the women's side of things as well. But Escobar, I think he's going to have a great showing. Judgment Day with Damian Priest. Judgment Day, what a great, and I'm going to say even a great, but what a tragedy that we are in now where WWE fumbled a possible Judgment Day dominance at Money in the Bank. They got Damian Priest in the Money in the Bank match. Let's say, okay, Damian Priest won that match. You got Dominic going against Cody. You got Finn going against Seth. And Rhea, who's the women's world champion, the only one in Judgment Day with the belt, not even on the card. Now, that's a tragedy. That's a tragedy, and that's another thing I'm going to talk about when I get to the women's side of things. Just bear with me, but it's a shame they fumbled that opportunity with Judgment Day. All four could have been competing in the match, and all four possibly could have won. Just saying. But like I said, you got Finn challenging Seth, but Damian, if he wins, and let's say Finn wins against Seth, that'll be a great story to tell. It'll remind me of kind of how when Batista won the Royal Rumble and Triple H was trying to get him to go against JBL instead of him. It'll be a great story to see Damian Priest win the Money in the Bank and Finn beat Seth for the World Heavyweight Championship. That'll be just great in terms of storytelling, but you got that with Damian Priest. Butch, Ricochet, and Nakamura. I mean, those are three guys I feel like need some type of direction. Of course, Butch is with the Brawling Brutes with Sheamus, so you could probably put him in a tag team title situation or a U.S. title situation or something like that. Nakamura, Ricochet, sort of the same. You had Ricochet teaming with Braun Strowman for a while. That went nowhere. Nakamura just returned. A lot of people see his potential from back when he was with New Japan and everything. So it's just certain things with those three guys. They need some direction. I think this match is a great way to start that. Finally, you know what I'm saying? Because they had this Nakamura-Ricochet storyline heading into the match. So overall, I'm looking forward to this men's Money in the Bank match. And like I said, I think it'll give us a great remembrance of WrestleMania 21 and WrestleMania 22 Money in the Bank match. But I do have LA Knight winning. Now, the women's Money in the Bank match. We got Becky Lynch, Zoe Stark, Trish Stratus, Selena Vega, Io Sky, and Bayley. My prediction, I would love to see Io Sky win this match. First, if Io Sky were to win this match, would she go for Asuka or Rhea Ripley? I just said Rhea needs some type of competition, but I don't think you can turn down Io Sky versus Asuka at this point. I don't think you can turn that down. Internationally wise, what they both can do inside the ring, it's hard to turn down Io Sky versus Asuka. So if Io Sky does win, I would like to see her face off against Asuka. And with Io Sky winning this match, you can also have a great storyline with her in Damage Control. I think that'll be great to see. And the other side of things with this match, you have Trish Stratus and Zoe Stark going with Becky for the past couple weeks. Let that storyline play out. I think the best way for this storyline to play out is to have Trish Stratus somewhat be a mentor for Zoe Stark to go against Becky Lynch, because with Lita and Trish Stratus coming back a couple months ago at WrestleMania, I did not expect to see Trish Stratus staying around this long, but I think her being the mentor role for Zoe Stark will be the best way to play out this storyline. And like I said, have Zoe Stark and Becky build up some type of storyline for the next event. I think that'd be a great way to write off Trish Stratus and everything. But I do have Io Sky winning the women's Money in the Bank match. Now, women's tag team title match, we have Shayna Baszler versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. My prediction, I have Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey winning this match. What they doing with the women's tag team titles, I'm kind of confused with. What they did was they unified the women's title and the NXT women's tag team title, and now whoever is holding those belts are going to compete on Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. It is putting a lot of work on the women's tag team champions, but at this point, I mean, I don't know what they're doing with it, but at this point, I guess that's the only way you can really get this women's tag team division going. I think that's the main thing. They still trying to fight. Ever since Sasha Banks and Naomi left a couple years ago, that women's tag team division had just been in shambles. At this point, now what they're doing this with, they competing on every WWE event, I think it's going to be a hot potato situation. I think Shayna and Ronda are going to have it for a couple weeks, and I think another tag team is going to have it, and I think eventually we're going to have a four-way tag team for the women's tag team belts at this point. I would not be shocked by SummerSlam we have 4 tag teams competing for this belt on that card. I would not be surprised. But, I mean, the women's division has been injuries. They moving around different shows, NXT call-ups. They got to get some type of solid foundation with this women tag team division. But with that, I think they're going to have the switch up a tag team. And that's why I'm going back to the women's division with Rhea Ripley. I think at this point it's clear Raquel Rodriguez is probably the only competition we really see somebody who can give Rhea a run for her money at this point. I wonder if they're going to ever do the Raquel Rodriguez link up with the LWO, because then she can either tag team with Selena Vega or she could just be the dominant woman in LWO. In terms of the women's tag team match, I have Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey winning that match. And the way it's looking now, I think this women's tag team title will be a hot potato situation. We'll see how it goes. Next match, we got Cody versus Dominic Mysterio. Dom has been good as a heel. I think it really took until that WrestleMania match against Rey Mysterio. His entrance at WrestleMania is what made me be like, okay. And then not every time he talking, the crowd booing him. He killing the heel role. I got to give him credit. Dominic Mysterio, this heel character. And the fans, we just decided, okay, let's go with it. How we feel about him inside the ring, he's killing this role as a heel, and it's funny. So shout out to Dominic Mysterio. Clearly, this match, I think, is going to set up Cody versus Brock Lesnar Part 3 at SummerSlam. So I'm guessing Brock Lesnar will make an appearance at this London event, Money in the Bank. I wouldn't be surprised. I think Cody has to get the W. You cannot have Cody Rhodes lose to Dominic Mysterio. Even if a Brock Lesnar interference happened, I think you still got to let Cody get this match, because I think their biggest thing with Cody right now is not let people foreshadow. Like, keep it in the moment. So maybe they have him lose and then he gets his rematch and win, but I think Cody is going to beat Dominic. I think you can at least get Cody the dominant victory. I mean, come on now. So I got Cody Rhodes winning that match, but I do expect Brock Lesnar to make an appearance eventually. Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. My prediction, man, this is a great time to put it on Finn, though. But you just put it on Seth. I'm going to go with Seth Rollins, because Finn, I'm guessing he's going to show up as the Demon. But, oh, man. If you were to put it on Finn now, it would be the good time, though. But I'm going to go with Seth Rollins. They're doing a great job storytelling with this match. The whole 7 years ago when Finn won they changed the names of so much of these belts, but at the time, Finn was the inaugural champion, and then he got hurt. And really you could see it as that injury slowing down Finn momentum, but really boosting Seth Rollins' stock. So they're doing a great job storytelling with that. Seth Rollins has been the fighting champion with the new World Heavyweight Championship belt. He fought over at NXT. He's been wrestling on Raw here and there as well with open challenges. So he has been a fighting champion, and that's the main goal for this new belt. But Finn has been on a great run. I'm glad we're seeing that side of Finn Balor finally. Like I said, they're doing a great job storytelling, because if you've been tuned in after that injury, Finn, yes, he's won matches and been in great storylines, but from where his momentum was going when he won the belt to his injury, you can clearly see the difference. But I have Seth Rollins winning this match, but I think it's going to be a great, great match, great storytelling inside the match, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. And we got Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa versus the Usos in a Bloodline Civil War match. And my prediction, I have the Usos winning this match. I think this is now the official start of, clearly the Bloodline is over with as a whole, but I think this is the start of the possible Roman Reigns fall off. Not sure how long they're going to drag it out until WrestleMania or not, but I think clearly this is a sign of things that, yes, he had his historical reign, but now it's time to put a little chimp in the armor. I think that's what they're doing. The only thing with this Bloodline storyline, I hope they don't go the direction I hope they don't go, is all these twists and turns. Like, I hope Jay doesn't turn on Jimmy or Jimmy turns on Jay, and Solo turns on Roman out of nowhere, and I just hope they don't go that route like the old NWO. There's so many twists and turns you can't keep up. So I hope they don't go that route. But overall, I think they're still doing the best they can with the Usos and the bloodline situation. It's great to see the Usos just people saying they're breaking away, but at the same time, like, fam, a lot of stuff Roman says does be right. That's the only thing weird since Sami Zayn split from the bloodline. It's like, okay, I get it. I get what y'all doing. But a lot of things y'all got Roman doing and Roman saying, Roman be right. Yo, y'all was on the pre-show card. And then it's like, Sami Zayn, you was fighting Johnny Knoxville. You came over to us. Jimmy, Jay, y'all were looked at like this. Y'all got with me. Y'all been dominant. A lot of stuff Roman Solo. He was over at NXT. Brought him up to the main roster. But I do have the Usos winning this match. I think the Usos, they are looking for a victory. Definitely, this will be the victory that they're looking for. But it would be even better if one of them pin Roman. And I wonder how they're going to do that. Are they going to do a Uso Fatal 4-Way match eventually? Are they going to do Jimmy or Jay versus Roman? Will we see Solo go on the other side and challenge Roman? So a lot of the things they can still do with this, I think up until definitely Survivor Series. I mean, I think that would be a great stopping point for this storyline in terms of all four of them. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see. But in terms of Bloodline Civil War, I have the Usos winning that match. So just a quick recap of my Money in the Bank predictions. For the men's Money in the Bank, I have LA Knight winning that match. The women's, I have Io Sky. The women's tag team, I have Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Cody versus Dominic, I got Cody. Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor, I got Seth Rollins. And like I just stated, Usos over Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. So thank y'all for tuning in. This has been episode 216, Stash House Podcast. Make sure you guys go out. Have a great work week. If you're on vacation, be safe. Take care of your family. Make sure the kids have a great time this summer. Be aware of your surroundings. Drink plenty of water. Be careful on the road, definitely. And keep me in prayers. I do the same for y'all. Salute.